The number of people who come to me and are just like, will you tell me about the genitals of someone who isn't either of us? I'm like, no. Hi! You may be noticing this is the Kitchen and Jorn show, but Jorn is behind the camera.
And you know what that means? When Jorn's behind the camera, it's time for old Brie to come on out.
Coming out of her cage, and she's been doing just fine. So people have been asking for this video in every way. DM, letter, carrier pigeon.
Message in bottle.
Anyway, you guys, so people are like, we have questions about Brie's surgery. And so I was like, well, let's just do a video.
Yeah.
Because like, I was like, I could just answer them all manually, but like, or we could just do a video where we answer them all.
And also this way I can have input.
Listen, the thing is like when I answer questions for you, it's mostly so I don't want you to have to do all this labor. It just seems like a lot of work for you. So it's like, But I think you were like, I want to answer these questions myself. And
yeah,
I was like,
I do.
All right, well, answer those questions yourself, girl. Mm-hmm. So I collected all of your questions from YouTube and also from Instagram. And I guess, I don't know, should we do standard caveats? Don't be a transphobe or into the sun you go. Hope you like the sun.
I heard it's lovely this time of year.
I think it's the same every year. Does the sun have weather?
No.
Caveat number 2.
I'm only asking questions that Brie feels comfortable answering. Mm-hmm. If Brie answered this question, it's because Brie felt comfortable answering it. So
I've not been pressured into anything. Caveat number 3, this applies to basically every answer I'm going to give, but just saying it out now, is most of these answers are going to be specific to me and my journey and my recovery, and it's going to be different for everyone, but hopefully I can give people a sense of what it's like, what the process is, and, you know, help people that might be undergoing this in the future.
You understand.
You're with the program. You're on the trolley.
All right, so let's jump into it. The first question I'm going to ask is the question I think every person asked. If you can't put pressure on your butt, you can't put pressure on your hips, and you can't put pressure on your chest, how are you sleeping?
With great difficulty.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. It sucks.
So what we did was we used a bunch of pillows and kind of arranged a little nest for me such that I would have pressure on my upper legs and my lower back, and my butt would just kind of be in the middle with some negative space there. This works. It is not comfortable, so it's really just about getting enough support everywhere else on my body except for my butt. It was a little difficult though, because when you put pressure on your upper leg and lower back, that makes your feet very restless. I mean, I already have kind of a restless leg syndrome, but so that was really rough. Mm-hmm. But the good news is that today is actually 6 weeks since my surgery, which means that tomorrow I can sleep and sit and do things normally.
Woo! Yay!
Next question.
What has been the most surprising during your recovery?
Most surprising during my recovery was, well, I didn't get a tummy tuck, so that was very helpful. But I still got some fat sucked out of my abdomen. What was very surprising was learning how many things you use your abdomen for.
You use it for so many things.
Use it for so many activities.
Eating, bending, bending sideways.
Yeah, that one too. Getting out of bed, I had to learn how to like move myself and like grab onto something with my hands, or occasionally I would swing my feet underneath a dresser to the side and like pull myself up with my legs. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was like really difficult getting you up those first like couple weeks, and then you kind of like needed to do it on your own. Mm-hmm. It's funny that you learned that, because like I remember beforehand I was just like, something I need you to know about surgery. Your whole torso is gonna hurt. Mm-hmm. You're gonna realize that there are things you've taken for granted for years that are out of commission, and you were like, okay, sounds like a lie. And then it happened and you were just like, oh no.
That was surprising. And then also just the itchiness factor. That's good. That's nerves reattaching, but I was not prepared for it. So I was really scared that meant something was wrong. It actually means everything's going right.
How are you feeling a couple weeks later? Because this is actually like a month after we filmed that video.
I'm feeling great. I'm back at work. I'm working remotely, but you know, I'm gonna be going back into the office next week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I told you that.
I knew that, weirdly.
Yeah. It's okay. Jen is the conduit of information between us.
Jen writes the newsletter.
She does.
The Brie Daily.
The Morning Breeze. But I'm able to do basically everything that I had done before except ride my bike. I've gone to the movies, which I didn't think I was gonna be able to do. You know, I had my little pillow and I'm not gonna need that soon. So I'm feeling really great. And the best thing is just catching glimpses of myself in the mirror and just being like, okay, yeah, I look like this now. I'll be out walking Betty and I'll pass a window and just be like, oh, that's a woman's silhouette. You know, it feels so much better. So I'm feeling amazing. Thank you.
So one question that I'm just gonna ask off the top so that like no one's annoying in the comments. And if you're annoying in the comments,
Son.
come and fight me and I'll send you into the sun. Why does your voice sound different right now?
Okay, I've been doing some vocal training and, you know, I'm still trying to find exactly the right pitch, so this isn't gonna probably be my voice forever. But, you know, I'm just trying to demasculinize it and make it a little less down here where I normally am, and I'm very low and grumbly, and just try to be up here where, you know, it can maybe come off at least a little more androgynous. Hopefully.
Voice training,
it's so
I think,
hard.
is like probably one of the hardest physical aspects.
It's so hard. That's why I haven't been doing it. I kind of just started. You know, I'm lucky enough to be at a company with a lot of trans women, and you know, we have a voice training practice that I've started attending. So I'm trying it out.
This is from YouTube. Is there anything that you would like nurses and doctors to know that would help make their patients more comfortable during this process?
They were great getting me into surgery, getting me out of surgery, you know, dealing with my physical needs right then. What could have gone a little better was like having a better outlined recovery plan, including things like, you know, fluid draining, changing my garments, not just like taking the support garments off, but like when to actually move on to stage 2 garments and stage 3 garments.
Sure. We should clarify what that means. So when you get bodycon surgery or like any sort of like body shaping surgery, you have to wear compression garments to sort of facilitate healing. But as your body changes, you have to go down in size.
I'm on a 2X stage 2 garment.
Which is like smaller. But that's something that like we didn't know.
No, that was all research in terms of recovery timelines and, you know, what to expect and when I can start doing different things. Just having a better guideline of
For
those sort of
after.
things. Yeah. How about you as my partner during this process? Was there anything you wish you had known?
The same. We have the same. Honestly, because like I wish I would have known a few things. I wish I would have had a better idea of like what to expect in your recovery. I also wish that I'd had a better idea of like what complications could come up. Because what happened was one night you were like, I'm so itchy! And I was like, I don't know how to help you. Here's the thing, I'm a planner. I plan for like every eventuality, especially in situations like this, but I can't plan for everything because I don't have, my imagination's not that good. Because I figured you'd be itchy at your incisions, but I didn't realize that you'd be itchy at like the fat grafting sites where you have no incisions.
Yeah.
And so that part, I think I was like surprised by. I think like also, honestly, the communication about the drainage for your body has
It's been a little rough. And part of that is that I did get the surgery up in San Francisco and I've been doing recovery down here.
Yeah,
so they
but
don't have the facilities.
Let me be mad. I personally think that you should have been given a better plan for aftercare for your drainage. I think that was an oversight. I think that was botched a little bit. We didn't travel even out of state for the surgery, so I don't think it's out of the realm possibility that it would be something that we could have planned. And that's just my hot, sassy, molassy take. Question I got, was this expensive?
Yes. In the abstract, yes. I'm very lucky in that I have really good insurance, but we still had to pay out of pocket to go up to San Francisco and be there for a week. I think I saw the bill from the hospital before insurance got involved. It was like $120,000.
And this was an outpatient surgery.
Yeah, I spent 0 nights in the hospital. Good thing is that insurances, at least in California, are required to follow WPATH guidelines. And these outline guidelines for care in terms of what needs to be covered for gender affirming surgeries, which this fell under. So I've known people on Medicaid who have got this covered. If you have insurance, you may have to do some runaround, get some letters of agreement and things like that. It should be coverable.
Even for us, where we were in really fortunate circumstances, I think we spent 10 grand on
Out of pocket, yeah.
out of pocket, just on accommodations.
Yeah.
So like this was kind of our vacation this year.
A little bit. Hope you had fun.
What piece of clothing are you most excited to wear now?
Cute skirts, and honestly, being able to wear pants or wear jeans and not feel like I'm in boy mode.
Oh.
Not feel like I have to wear a dress all the time to feel, gendered properly is, I think, a big deal. The other day I was wearing a jumpsuit and you were like, oh, you look way different in that.
You did.
Yeah.
You looked way different in that.
But then also, you know, I just want to wear some sexy shit.
So, you know, if you want to send Brie some lingerie.
All right, horny jail.
What's pain control in recovery like for you?
I am a baby about pain,
Yeah.
but I'm also really scared of drugs.
You're a both sides baby.
Yeah, I tried to be very judicious with the Norco. I treated a lot of the pain with cannabis edibles. You know, because we are in California, it is legal here. They were very helpful, both in just settling my pain, helping me get to sleep. It is a lot less scary than dealing with the opioids.
Listen, pain management, your mileage may vary on like what actually works for you, and what works for one person is not going to work for another person. That's my like big old caveat. It was itching, and the fact that you could never find a comfortable position to be in.
Bless you.
Oh my god.
How did you find a doctor?
Well, I'm very lucky in that my therapist is actually a trans woman herself. She is older than me and transitioned about 10-ish years ago. And she's great. I found her through the LA LGBT Center, which is a wonderful resource. She recommended this surgery group. You know, is the one that she used, is the one that her partner used. She had good results with it and, you know, had just not a lot of great things to say about the surgeons who do this in LA. I just took that advice and ran with it, and also looked into it a little bit, and it was just like, oh no, these are some of the most highly regarded people doing this in the country. So,
and also like you could tell that like they really had at least the emotional component of having this surgery sort of down to a science.
absolutely.
Has Betty been acting any differently towards you?
Betty's the dog, by the way.
Betty's
Yeah,
a
Betty's
dog.
a dog.
Betty's a dog. Betty's not like a weird relative.
No, Betty's been the same. She's been such a sweetie pie. When we first got back home, it did take a while to reacclimate her to my lower energy level, which
yeah.
was definitely an adjustment for her. You know, now that I'm basically back to where I was, she's a dog and doesn't really have long-term memory, so
She's great.
she's doing great.
You smell the same.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, it wouldn't really make a difference.
Yeah, no. Much in the same way that it's really hard for us to perceive the genders of other animals, I can't imagine animals can really perceive our genders very well.
Are there any questions that you wish people would not ask / stop asking?
Well, okay, there was one person before I went into this and I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna be having surgery, so I'm gonna be out for a little bit. And they were just like, oh, is this the surgery? And I was just like, okay.
It's the last surgery I'll ever have.
Saying it like that, like you know, the end goal of transition is always SRS or bottom surgery or gender reassignment surgery. That's not necessarily always the case for everyone. Everyone's journeys are different. Also, that's a little more reductive. It's also a little more intrusive than I really preferred. But that was literally one person who is otherwise very lovely. You know, but everyone has been so nice and so supportive and really respectful. But that's why we're doing this video, because like I know people do have questions and I do want to answer them in a way that's honest, but also respects my boundaries. So
Yeah.
People love asking me that question because I think people think that like, what? I can't ask Brie, so I'll just ask Kristen. And like, it's not weird if I ask Kristen. It's fine.
no, it's weirder actually.
It is weirder. It's not even my body. So like, and the thing is, it's like when I talked about you having this surgery, I actually had to correct a couple people who were just like, oh, I just kind of assumed it was everything. And I was like, I don't even know why we're talking about this. What's the best recovery advice you have, even if it's for something small?
Honestly, just be yourself and have fun out there. Take things at your own pace. Don't feel like you have to be a hero and get back on your feet immediately, but also don't feel like you need to be off your feet for some like prescribed period of time. When you feel ready to start doing stuff, that means you're ready to start doing stuff. If your body tells you to stop, stop. Also, totally fine to just sit on the couch and watch movies or play Baldur's Gate 3. Your body is doing a lot. You're healing right now.
Can I send this video to you from like a month ago?
No.
The technology doesn't exist, Kristen.
No,
Get over it.
she wasn't ready to hear this. Is there one more question you absolutely wanted to
Yes.
ask?
Yes.
Okay.
I do actually. Did you have any doubts before surgery? And do you like have regrets now?
I'll answer that in the reverse order. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. Not in the slightest. This was one of the best things I've ever done. I wish I could have done it sooner. Did I have any doubts going into surgery? Absolutely. I have been put under 3 times in my life before this surgery. Before every single one of them, I have been so afraid that I will never wake up.
Let me reroute. Did you have any doubts about the choices you were making?
Oh, yes. I remember when we were first looking at the surgery and I was Really, all of the doubts were about my boob size.
They were.
It was about making sure that they were big enough that they fit my body, because I have a condition that's called pectus excavata, where it's my rib cage. I have a chest cavity that divots in my chest, right in between my boobs.
You can't even see it now, honestly.
You can't, but you could before. So a lot of my worries were about fitting the boobs around that.
You had no doubts this was the right surgery for you.
Absolutely none.
Absolutely not. None.
Absolutely none.
None. Zero.
It is worth it, I promise you.
Yeah.
If it's something that you want to do. If you're already happy in your gender, I wouldn't bother.
Pros and cons. Cons that you're miserable.
Yeah. But that's
Pros that you're
brief, and the misery ends,
Yeah.
and the results stay.
Yeah.
Silicone is forever, baby.
Well, it's for 10 years.
What?
Oh, you didn't know
I
this?
did know that.
Okay.
It's a joke.
I don't know, okay? Sometimes the bits feel real. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for answering questions.
Of course, anytime. If people have any additional questions, my DMs are open. I will respond if you're nice. If you're not, then you're gonna go in the sun.
Into the sun.
Into the sun.
Into the sun. Anyway, yeah, this has been the Kitchen and Jorn show. We will do more of these if you have more questions.
Yeah.
Or we won't if you're satisfied with the
you're sated.
answer.
If you're thirst for, whatever. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I'm just too high.